Hey everybody, go see Kong. No reason at all, just please go see Kong. Please go see Kong. I don't want to spoil stuff, but I want something to happen. And I'll tell you about it in about a couple of minutes, give or take, but please go see Kong. It's worth the time, it's worth the money, and please go see Kong. Okay. Actually, Kong's kind of ironic, because this movie takes place during Vietnam. So yes, you could technically call it Viet Cong. I'm sure I'm not the first person to make that joke, and I probably won't be the last, but man, is this a good movie. Is it a great movie? Yeah, you can pick it apart. But this is just a fun sit back and just enjoy the heck out of a movie. When it's not really slow. There are some slow parts. The build-up is really good. The ending, I think, once they get past the, I guess you could call it the secondary climax, starts rolling, and it's actually really good. The middle does its job, but there's a bit of a problem with the movie. Basic premise of this movie? Well, Kong's on an island. They go find Kong. Stuff happens, shenanigans ensue, and they have to get off the island. And throughout it, we have the wonderful, who is the true evil? Is it Kong? Is it man? Is it a bit of both? Or is it a third-party candidate that just shows up for Kong to kick the crap out of? You be the judge. But basically, the problem I have with this movie, and let me just say, this is really the only problem I have with this movie, is that there seems to be a slight lack of focus. Throughout the movie, we're dealing with two parties. Group A, which consists of mostly the civilians with one or two military people, who we come to enjoy. And you got the military group led by Samuel L. Jackson and John Goodman. Which is nice, but once something gets set up in one group, you kind of get used to it. Like, oh, okay, so where's this going? Zip! Over to the other group. Okay, so they're getting going, they're looking for their buddy. That's camaraderie. It's something you expect from the military. And zip! Right back over to the other one. No segue, no build-up, just cut to cut. It's the only choppiness you can really see in the movie. The editing itself isn't bad, it's just those moments just are jarring. You get used to it, you build it up. The best way I could describe this would be like a video game, where you're following two main protagonists, and throughout the game you're jumping from one to the other. Now in a video game, that's a bit more dealable because you're used to it. It's a video game. You're not following the movie, and it's usually a lot longer, and you grow more accustomed to the characters. So when you do jump, there's always that little bit in the back of your mind that makes you remember it. The Yakuza franchise, especially after Yakuza 4, has that kind of narrowed down. If you don't believe me, go play Yakuza 0. And you do miss both characters, but you enjoy your time playing as them. And Kong, falls in the same suit, except it's really quick, really noticeable, and it's kind of slightly jarring. Also, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, he acts like Samuel L. Jackson. But his character seems a bit off in the sense that you think he's this military man out to seek, his soldiers. He wants to get them home, as any good military officer, in my opinion, should. The lives of your men are the most important thing. And technically the country is the most important thing, but on the battlefield, your soldiers are your brothers, your family, and to an officer, you could almost say your sons. And he kind of abandons that halfway through the movie in an attempt to hunt down and kill Kong, because, well, if you've seen the trailers, Kong takes out a lot of his men. Which I have to raise an eyebrow at, because they launched from this little freighter that could maybe hold, 6 helicopters at best. There's about 12 of them in the air at one point in time, all of various sizes. So it's clear they're just doing this for the carnage purposes, and people are added throughout the movie that you think, okay, we have X number of people, it's not going to get bigger. And then all of a sudden, if you do a head count, you'll notice there's one more person there, or 2 people are there, and it's kind of just weird. They're there to get killed. which, when it's all said and done, there's a good number of people who are alive who, if you were a betting man, would assume would be dead, and people who are dead, which you would assume would be alive, just based upon the introductions and how everything goes. But the body count at the end of this, while high, there's a lot of survivors, which is predicated to something that comes later. And it's honestly, those are my biggest nitpicks with the movie, and that's literally like nitpicking. The soundtrack is amazing. You feel like you're actually back in the 70s watching this. The filming is shot, actually the cameras is actually used proper film, so you see them actually loading it. The talk doesn't seem too 70s, but it doesn't seem like too modern slang. I don't hear anything going out, and there's a lot of references, especially when they come across our would-be Tom Hanks on the island, who is a World War II pilot who got shot down, and comedy ensues. There's a good bit of levity, a good bit of humor. I find myself laughing a good bit of times in this movie. And if anyone wants to compare this to Godzilla, which wouldn't be an unfair assessment, I would say this is definitely better than Godzilla. The one problem they had with Godzilla was that they've tried to focus on the human characters a lot, which in a kaiju film you're supposed to do. The monsters are secondary and the main characters, the humans, are primary. And Kong does the same thing here, but these characters we actually like. The only real character we liked in Godzilla was Bryan Cranston, and he got off in the first half hour, 45 minutes of the movie in a very unceremonious way, if you ask me. And what we were left with is a mad Japanese scientist saying, "Let them fight. Let them fight. We must let them fight." Which, granted, he was right, but he still sounded like a raving idiot. And everyone else was bland cardboard or just stupid, in all honesty. And that's coming from the guy saying, "Let them fight. Let them fight." Yeah. In this one, there's actually a camaraderie, there's humor, you laugh. Not really in the sense of crying, but you get a little teary-eyed. Nah, you really don't, but you could. Theoretically, you probably could. So, before I go into my massive rant on why I opened this beginning with, please go see this movie. Go see this movie. It's great. It's a popcorn flick. It's literally turn your brain off, watch the craziness ensue, you'll have a blast. It's easily worth a matinee. I would say almost a full price. As for 3D, don't really. The way this is shot, you could tell there's clearly moments for 3D, and there's not that much within it. And if I was a betting man by the scope of it, it's probably just going to be a background edit 3D where it looks like there's more dimension in the film than it currently is. I could be wrong, but by the way it's shot, it's safe to assume that. So, Kong, go see it, please. Okay? Alright? If everyone's gone, I can just do this. There was an after credit scene in this movie. Holy crud! Okay. Little behind the scenes, I am a huge Power Rangers fan and a huge Super Sentai fan. Through those, I got introduced to kaiju films. Godzilla vs. King Kong, Rodan, Mothra, all those. And it's coming. There's an after credits scene that basically like dangles everything in front of us. You see basically cave paintings to depict things that are to come, because Kong takes place before Godzilla. You see symbols of Godzilla, which we already got that movie, but then you see Mothra, Rodan, King Gamera, and just one cave painting of an all-out fight between all 5 monsters. I want to see this. Please let this happen. Seriously, I was upset Pacific Rim never got the prequel we were promised. I heard it's still in production, but you're not going to get a sequel based off of the ending, and you're probably not going to get the prequel now. But I want this. I want to see the kaiju films brought back. I want to see monsters beating the crud out of each other. I want to see Godzilla strangling Kong while Kong grabs his tail and whips him into a building. I want to see Rodan, Mothra, and all of them just duke it out in one giant battle royale, leaving a city decimated, because that's what would happen. Yeah, Warner Brothers, ditch the not DC Animated Universe, that one's good. Ditch the DC Cinematic Universe. Wonder Woman, I'm going to give you guys a chance with, but your last three have not been good. Suicide Squad was alright by comparison, but Batman v Superman and Man of Steel were both pieces of garbage, and this deserves your money. This deserves your attention. This is what people should theoretically be watching. Stick to your anime movies. You're pretty good with that. Seriously. Google Teen Titans Judas Contract. It's coming out soon. Well, soon-esque. It looks pretty good. And Justice League Dark, that just came out recently, has John Constantine and is really good. But back to more important topics here. Giant kaiju fights. Giant monster fights. On the big screen. And if their CGI is about as good as this and Godzilla, it needs to happen. It needs. And look, I know a lot of people are going to this movie expecting like a big all-out Kong, massive fight. Just like they were probably expecting with Godzilla. That's not how kaiju films work. You let the humans set the stage, the monsters take the stage, and then all-out awesomeness happens. Whether it be cheesy or amazing, something is going to happen, and it's going to be great. And this is what we need right now. So, there was an after credit scene. It's worth it. Stick around. Stick around for a little bit for the credits too, because the credits have a very nice, one of the characters gets back, and you actually get a video of them reunited with the family. A very, Black Hawk Down, Lone Survivor, blanked on the name, feel to it. Even though it's fictional, it feels warranted. It feels like something we kind of want to see after getting, disconnected to this character. Yeah, that was a massive high, because Kong was good, don't get me wrong, and I heard rumors of the Godzilla vs. Kong movie that was coming out. But you throw in Mothra, Rodan, and King Gamera into this? Shaking hands. This needs to happen. Please, go support this movie. Give them your money so they can make more awesome movies like this. I want an Avengers level movie of all of the monsters. And you know what? Just because we're getting the humans involved, I want Mechagodzilla. Well, our version of Mechagodzilla. Or you know what? Ultraman. I think Ultraman was a human one. It's been a while since I've seen the kaiju films, in all honesty, but still, I want this. You know what? No. Bring in Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. I don't care how you do it. I don't care why you do it. We need this fight. To quote the Godzilla movie, let them fight. And I'll say this again, and you can say whatever you want. I will repeat this until I am blue in the face. Go see this movie. Logan will make money. We'll see it on FX. Trust me, it's a great movie. But we need to go see Kong right now. I am not speaking to you as a critic, because, critic-wise it's actually pretty okay. Well, I give it a B+. But personally, I give this a high A, because I want to see what comes next. And I really want to see these movies, guys. Please go see these movies. Now that the fanboy's a bit out of me. So, next week will be the remake of Beauty and the Beast. So, with Logan being amazing, Kong being above average, like I said, B+, but just got my hype level, off the screen here. Beauty and the Beast has a lot to fill in, because one of my favorite Disney movies of all time, and arguably one of the best animated Disney movies of all time, sorry Frozen, you're not as good as Tangled, and quite frankly, Beauty and the Beast curb stomps both of them. And I would like anyone to try to debate me on that. In fact, if you do want to debate that, comment below, let me know. And if you got a free moment, subscribe. I make videos weekly, so look forward to hearing from you guys. Anyway, this is Kevin Riley signing off, and for the last time, go see this movie. Alright, everybody. Have a good night.